morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with Grandstream. Today's host is Phil Bowers, and he is their Director of Marketing and will be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Phil can answer them at the end of today's presentation. Phil, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate your time and the information you're going to share with us. I am finished for now, so please go ahead and take it on over.
All right, thanks, Julie, and thanks everyone for being with us here today. As Julie mentioned, my name is Phil Bowers. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Grandstream. You've probably been with us for a previous Grandstream Microcom webinar. We've been doing these for years, and I always look forward to them. So glad to be here today. We have a pretty light topic, I would say, here today. Gonna basically, since it's been, I think probably a couple of months, maybe a couple of quarters since we did a webinar last, going to update you on all of the products that we have launched within the last 6 months, just about. I think most of what we're going to cover here goes back to the beginning of April. So again, pretty light topic. We're going to cover these 6 technically products here. I'm going to start out by telling you about a new addition to our UCM series of IP PBXs. You probably, hopefully, previously knew about our UCM 6300 series, which we launched towards the end of last year. We now have a new member of that 6300 series that we call the 6300 audio series. And as you can imagine, it is for voice-focused deployments. I will start off with that. Then we'll introduce you to 2 new GRP IP phones that we just launched just about a month ago, GRP 2624, GRP 2634. The main thing with these guys that you will see is extension module or built-in BLF speed dial keys. That's kind of the main things with those guys. The third product we're going to cover here today is our GWN 7660, which we launched, I believe, in August as well, may have been July. That is our first ever Wi-Fi 6 access point. And when I go through that, we'll also kind of give you a heads up of some other Wi-Fi 6 access points and kind of what we're doing in the Wi-Fi 6 space. Also, when we do that or go through that section, we'll give you a little bit of an update on how well that GWN series and Wi-Fi solutions in general have been performing for Grandstream. And then the last 2 products we'll cover pretty quickly. It's definitely a focus on the first 3 here, but we'll also, towards the end, introduce you to our new video conferencing solution, which is the GVC 3220, super high-end 4K Android, all that, built-in PTZ, as well as the latest addition to our GSC series of facility access and surveillance devices, and that is the GSC 3620 IP surveillance camera. So that's what we're going to be covering here today, and let's just jump right into it here with the UCM 6300 audio series. So like I mentioned just a moment ago, hopefully you're all familiar with the UCM 60, or just, I'm going to take a step back here, the UCM series of IP PBXs in general. We have had this UCM series, the first generation came out back in 2013, so it's been just about 9 years now. The UCM 6300 ecosystem here, which I believe we've covered in a previous webinar, but I'll touch on it real fast here. This is the 3rd generation of our UCM series of IP PBXs, excuse me. And really the reason we came out with the UCM 6300 ecosystem, which I'll tell you in a minute, the ecosystem pairs the IP PBX with a application and a remote remote security service for NAT traversal, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Those 3 pieces are the ecosystem, and really the big difference with the 6300 series versus the previous generations is that now we have a variety of tools that pair up with the 6300 series to allow it to easily reach outside of its local network. It basically gives you the benefits of an on-premise solution, which is the reliability and the control of the IP PBX that you're used to, and we now combine it through the app in the cloud platform I'll tell you about in a moment, with the power and the flexibility and the remote access of a cloud solution, really, again, to give you, as it shows you there in orange text, an easy to manage and really really interesting hybrid communication platforms. Again, combines the benefits of on-prem and cloud. So we came out with the 6300 series, which was the UCM 6300 series IP PBX. The main one was launched at the end of last year. I will admit, as we go through this, I might stumble on. We have the UCM 6300 series and the UCM 6300 audio series now, and I'm introducing you to the audio series. So I'll probably refer to the UCM 6300 series that came out in November as the main one, and the audio series as the audio series. And as you can tell, the big difference is the 6300 series, the main one that's been out since last November, gives you full built-in video collaboration suite, whereas the audio series does not. That's the main difference. I'll go into more details on that in a moment. So you now have these two different IP PBXs as part of the UCM 6300 series to create this ecosystem that allows you to have this UCM reach outside of its local network securely and in an easy to access way. And the way that we do that is by pairing, as part of this ecosystem, the Wave app, which you see in the middle. That is a application that is available for smartphones, Android, iOS, as well as for desktop, as well as for web streaming within Chrome and Firefox browsers. And this basically gives you the ability, as you see in the picture, to access every feature and functionality. It is a soft phone on steroids, is the way that I usually communicate it. It's going to give you everything that you're used to from the soft phones you may have used, but we're going to add in video conferencing, video meetings. We're going to add in chat. We're going to add in file exchange. It's basically everything that you can do on a UCM series, you can now do with this Wave app running on tablets, smartphones, whatnot, from anywhere in the world. And then in order to give you a way to easily secure remote connections to your UCM series, whether those connections are using the Wave app or Grandstream endpoints, we have UCM Remote Connect. That is it is actually a fully free NAT firewall traversal service, just to make it as quick and easy to deploy remote connections, as well as adding AWS-backed security to it. So I went into probably a little more details there on the 6300 series, the ecosystem, which again is the combination of the PBX with UCM Remote Connect with that Wave app. And again, the big thing here is that it allows you to reach outside of the local network. You could do this previously with other UCMs, but it was not nearly as easily. It involved a lot more manual configuration. It was not as easy, and frankly, it was not as secure. And now you have a full platform here to allow those UCM connection, or that UCM solution, that UCM platform, to be accessed from anywhere. So as I mentioned earlier, the thing that I'm introducing here is the UCM 6300 audio series, which is on the right. We, at the end of last year, came out with the 6300 series on the left. So we have the 6300 series and then the 6300 audio series. The main difference, as you can see, is that the 6300 audio series does not give you the built-in video suite that the UCM 6300 series does. So what is that? It doesn't have a built-in video bridge like the 6300 series. It's still going to give you the ability to utilize Wave to hold web meetings and whatnot. It's just all going to be voice focused. The 6300 audio series, I should point out, will support video endpoints, will support SIP video pass-through. It just does not have a built-in video collaboration suite. So for example, if you would not be able to have video meetings through the Wave app on the audio series, but you would through the regular 6300 series. That's the main difference. Otherwise, there's a little bit less support in terms of users, as you can see with the first and the second bullet points respectively. The 6300 series will go all the way up to 5,000 users, whereas the 6300 audio series maxes out at 150 users. Both of them are fully compatible with all the rest of the ecosystem. As we just showed you, they both are fully compatible with the Grandstream device management system, which is our free cloud device management system. And they both give you the option to operate them as an on-premise IP PBX or the hybrid ecosystem that I explained in a moment, explained a moment ago. But as you can imagine, the advantage of the audio series here is it's great for price conscious deployments, and it's really ideal for anyone that just doesn't a business or a deployment that just might not need that built-in video collaboration bridge. So basically what I'm getting at is it's cheaper. So if you're looking for a price point that gives you all the UCM functionality pretty much just without video, the UCM 6300 audio series is a great option. And frankly, that's why we came out with it, for those more voice-focused or price-conscious deployments. This is, again, I mentioned it on the last slide, but just to call it out, the differences between the audio series and the regular 6300 series. It says no video support. It should say no built-in video bridge. So again, the 6300 audio series will support SIP video pass-through. It just doesn't give you the ability to host video meetings or video conferences with that UCM. Slightly lower capacity, as you saw, not just amongst the users and concurrent calls, but also slightly less capacity from the audio or the 6300 series to the audio series in terms of RAM and voice conferencing rooms built in. Another slight difference is with the regular 6300 series, you have two desktop appliances, I guess is the right word, and two rack mountable, whereas the audio series, the only one that is rack mountable is the highest end model within the series. So the other three are going to be desktop appliances. And another thing to point out, which I think is really interesting, and we've actually seen a lot of interest in this, the 6300A, which is the lowest end model in the 6300 audio series, has no FXS and no FXO ports built into that. So that's a pretty interesting solution right there that we've actually seen a lot of popularity on smaller or lower end deployments. I think this is, let me just make sure, yeah. So this is the last slide that we have here before we move over to our new GRP IP phones. But so I just talked about the UCM 6300 series, and which includes, as I mentioned, the main series and the audio series. I know a lot of you or a lot of resellers and users are used to our UCM 6200 series. And there is a little bit of, as I'm sure if you've looked into it, you may have noticed the price difference between the 6200 series that you've probably been used to and that we've been focusing on the last couple of years, which I should note is not going anywhere. We're going to always continue to support it. We just now have this newer UCM 6300 series, which is a step up from it. And just, I would like to go through and kind of call out the differences. You can see them on the right, but there really is a ton of enhancements from the 6200 to the 6300 series that we really believe make that extra investment worth it. So it's the newest version of Asterisk now on the 6300 series. You're going to get 4 or 6 core processors on the 6300 series when you were looking at 2 core processors on the 6200 series. So as you can see, that is 2 to 4 times faster right there, 2 to 4 times more built-in RAM, 4 to 16 times more built-in flash on the 6300 series, support for more users, more concurrent calls. I keep talking about that video collaboration bridge. That's really another big thing. You can host an entire video collaboration, both web and in-room, a whole suite or platform of that just using this UCM device. Get more voice participants. You got Opus codec support on the 6300 series. You have voice and video jitter resistance that we've added to the 6300 series, not on the 6200 series. And this ecosystem, I'm talking about the Wave app and UCM Remote Connect, are only compatible with the 6300 series. So just wanted to cover that. I find that's always a good topic to cover when we're talking about the 6300 series. So that wraps up our first topic here. The rest of them I think should be quicker to go through. So that first section probably was the longest one here. So let's move on to, I guess, the second and the third products, new products that I'm going to talk about here today. These are the 2 newest members of our GRP series of professional carrier-grade IP phones, the GRP 2624 and GRP 2634. And like I mentioned earlier, the main things that the main, I guess, features or functionality that these two devices, let me go back to this, that these two new devices add to the GRP series is really revolves around the BLF speed dial keys. You have the 24, which is going to be compatible with our GRP extension module, which I will show you. And you have the 2634, which you see in the picture here, which gives you those 10 dedicated speed dial BLF down there on the right with the paper screen, which it still surprises me how many people really prefer that. So that's what we're delivering. So just to take a step back, in case you're not familiar with our GRP series, we came out with these guys about 3 years ago, and really these are, as you see in the name, these are carrier grade IP phones. We designed them specifically really to make mass deployment as easy as possible for our devices. They have, as you can see just from the look, a whole new look and feel from what you're used to from our previous phones, our GXP series phones, for example. A whole new user interface. We've got unified firmware across the entire GRP series. A lot of the models are going to have built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that type of stuff. So it really gives you a lot of flexibility in how they're deployed. And then the main thing that really allows these devices to be easily mass deployed, or for you as a reseller to easily manage these devices or your customers' devices, is they pair up with GDMS to allow you to deploy, to set up, deploy, configure, manage these devices and maintain these devices all from the cloud. So again, easy to use, next generation features, but very easy to deploy. And one of the things that you get, I just kind of covered it and I just didn't use the word, but that zero touch provisioning. And that's one of the best things about the GRP series when you team it up with the Grandstream device management series, or excuse me, Grandstream device management system. All the GRP phones can be fully provisioned before they even leave the warehouse. They get to the customer, they plug them in, the phone fetches its provisioning from GDMS right away, and it's all set to go. So true zero touch provisioning. Then you also get that centralized device management through the cloud. GDMS, just like all of our cloud platforms, runs on Amazon Web Services. So you get that 99.9999% reliability. Another great thing about the GRP series is the customization that they offer. We have a lot of different devices within the series that pretty much covers every need. We offer customizable faceplates in case you want to put your logo or your customer's logo on it. Also lots of just ability to configure and manage these devices in very customized ways with GDMS. So that is just a quick refresher on the GRP series. And to kind of zoom out a little bit further, within that GRP series, we have two different sub-series, the Essential series, which are more or less basic models. And then we have this Professional series that you see here, which is going to be the GRP 2612 and up. And now we have two new members of it. The GRP 2624 is the first one. These came out within the last 2 months. The GRP 2624 is a 8-line phone, 4 SIP accounts. See the 8 line keys on there, built-in 5-way conferencing, noise shield technology, which is a really cool thing, especially, anywhere you are, whether you're working from home or whether you're in the office or traveling back and forth. That noise shield technology built right into all of our GRP phones really just allows for such a superior audio experience. Swappable faceplates, like I mentioned earlier. We see this is huge within service providers, but also, medium to large companies that want to customize their models with their logo on it. That is an option. Obviously, there's minimum order quantities and whatnot that are required for that, but that is an option on the majority of the GRP phones is those swappable faceplates. The 2624, again, the main thing with this one is the bullet on the bottom there. It's compatible with our GBX20 extension module. This is the second member of the GRP Professional series that works with an extension module, the other one being the 2615. This guy has built-in dual-band Wi-Fi, GDMS, you mentioned, 2 gigabit ports, built-in Bluetooth as well. So whether you're working in the office, working from home, or moving back and forth with the Bluetooth functionality, with built-in Wi-Fi, with the extension module, just a lot of really cool and unique deployments that you can put together with this device. The Wi-Fi, we're seeing, I'm going to leave the Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi, office Wi-Fi talk for when we get to the GWN series. But yeah, so lots of cool stuff with this device, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth again, and the big thing is its compatibility with our extension module for the GRP series, which you see here. It is compatible, it's called the GBX20, compatible with the GRP 2624 you just saw, as well as our 2615 and GXP 3350 video phone. Each module here is going to give you up to 40 lines per module. It's got 2 pages, 20 per page. You can team up to 4 of these together with any of the supported phones, which would give you a total of 160 contacts or speed dial BLF buttons essentially across those 4 devices. Got an LCD, built-in LCD screen, backlit, really sleek, really cool, matches the design of the GRPs as well. And then the other device here is the GRP 2634. Pretty much the same specs, or almost exactly the same specs as the 24, 8 lines, 4 SIP accounts, 5-way audio, conferencing, noise shield built in, swappable faceplates. The main difference, as you can see, is where the 24 is compatible with our extension module. This guy, as you see in the lower right-hand corner, has 10 built-on BLF speed dial keys with the ability to have a paper label there for it. Yeah, so really that's the main thing about these 2 new guys is one's compatible with the expansion module, one's got these 10 dedicated BLF speed dial keys. Both of them are 8 lines, 4 SIP accounts. Both of them give you the 2 gigabit ports. Both of them give you dual band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, HD audio, obviously compatible with the Grandstream device management system. So those are the 2 newest members of the GRP series, GRP 2624 and GRP 2634. Should be fully available right now. So let us move on to basically the third, I guess it's the last major thing that I'm going to touch on here before we wrap up, just kind of covering our new video conferencing and a new video surveillance camera that we have. So the last main topic here is our GWN series. And the main thing I'm going to introduce here is the GWN 7660, which is our first Wi-Fi 6 access point, but it is the first of many, as you'll find out here in a moment. Before I cover it, I'm going to take a quick drink of water. All right. So before I get into it, the biggest growth driver for Grandstream within the last year to 2 years has been our GWN series. We expect that within the next year or so that this GWN series could make up as much as 20 to 25% of our total income worldwide. And specifically within the United States, this GWN series has been skyrocketing. We've seen 80 to 100% growth in the just within the North America channel of our GWN series. And in case you're not familiar with the GWN series, hopefully you can tell from the picture, this is our solution, our Wi-Fi networking solution, access points and management systems. I'll cover the management systems in a bit. We have a full portfolio of access points. We're now expanding that to include Wi-Fi 6 access points, as I'll show you here in a moment. And so in addition to the 80 to 100% growth just within the North America channel, we've seen 97% growth since the beginning of 2020, including during the pandemic, from our GWN series. And not only that, we're seeing a lot of growth within the Wi-Fi being used as basically as the backbone of a communication or collaboration solution. Our WP series, which are our cordless Wi-Fi IP phones, has grown over 80% worldwide since the beginning of last year. So lots of growth within within our GWN series, but within the Wi-Fi sector really in general. And it's not just, and this is what I was getting at a moment ago, it's not just within the Wi-Fi networking backbone, which obviously is the main thing I'm going to talk about in this section, but it's also within Wi-Fi communications and collaboration networks. Grandstream alone has, as I mentioned, most of our GRP series, most of the professional GRP series have built-in Wi-Fi. We've got a WP series of cordless Wi-Fi IP phones. We've got a whole video line of video phones. All of them have built-in Wi-Fi. Many of our video conferencing devices have built-in Wi-Fi, and many of our facility access devices have built-in Wi-Fi as well. And so to kind of take a step back here to look at what the market is doing, we are seeing a massive increase in new office or new business deployments being done through Wi-Fi. And another great thing that allows you to do, especially as we all get more mobile, remote, businesses are operating in a hybrid. Maybe everyone's not coming into the office, they're taking devices from home and back. Wi-Fi is the easiest way to do that. And frankly, we've gotten to the point here over the last couple of years where your Wi-Fi networks, your Wi-Fi signals, the technology built into these Wi-Fi access points, we'll talk about some of that with our Wi-Fi 6 access points. The quality is as good, if not sometimes better, because it's easier to manage than your wired solution. So if you haven't taken a look at that, just always like to kind of throw that out there. So let's now get back to the Wi-Fi 6 conversation, or the Wi-Fi access point conversation. So hopefully everyone is somewhat familiar, or you've at least come across this Wi-Fi 6 term. This was something that, I guess, where are we? We're in September, so probably last year, towards the end of last year, this really began to pop up, and you saw some manufacturers start to roll out Wi-Fi 6 equipment. And basically, we are in the process. We launched one, and we are in the process of developing an entire line of Wi-Fi 6 access points. So why should you care about Wi-Fi 6, or why are these Wi-Fi 6 access points so much better than a Wi-Fi 5 access point, for example? Wi-Fi 6 is designed recently and built for dense environments. When Wi-Fi 5 was created, it was pretty much before the current generation of connected and smart devices. Whether you're in an office, whether you're in a home, pretty much anywhere you are anymore, tons of stuff are running on Wi-Fi. Light bulbs, HVAC systems, all the devices that we're walking around with. We just went through IP phones and video collaboration solutions, anything running on Wi-Fi, tons of stuff running on Wi-Fi. And again, Wi-Fi 5 was created prior to this modern generation of lots of Wi-Fi connected devices in one area or in one facility. So what Wi-Fi 6 does is it allows routers to communicate with more devices at one time, and it allows the routers to send data to multiple devices in the same broadcast rather than having to have a different broadcast for each endpoint. So that just allows it to be so much faster, so much better quality. Another thing that was kind of interesting to me is that the Wi-Fi 5 actually was only worked on the 5 gigahertz band. So you basically got no optimization at all on the 2 gigahertz band, and that is now something we have with Wi-Fi 6. So that's just a kind of quick intro into Wi-Fi 6. And again, our first Wi-Fi 6 access point we came out with just about, I think it was 2 months ago, the GWN 7660. In terms of where this device will stand within the total, the full GWN Wi-Fi 6 series, this is probably more of your, I'm going to call it mid-tier access point. We're working on coming out with some higher end Wi-Fi 6 access points that you should see by the end of the year, as well as some lower end. So this guy probably falls right in the middle of the devices you're going to see, mainly because of that 2x2x2. You're going to see a device we hope to come out with by the end of the year, which is 4x4x4, and that just it refers to the amount of antennas that are in the device. So basically double the amount of antennas, which would make it a little bit faster if you had 4 there. Up to 175 meter coverage with this GWN 7660, 1.7 gigs per second. Got the advanced QoS built into it, which is a great feature of our access points. And just like all of our other access points, in addition to the cloud management and the on-premise management I'm going to talk about here in a second, all of our access points also have built-in controllers. So you can use any Grandstream access point to set up, control, and manage entire networks of other Grandstream access points. This GWN 7660, for example, can control a network of up to 50 GWN series access points. So again, this is our first Wi-Fi 6 access point. It is available right now. We have a couple more that we're hoping to launch before the end of the year, and then you'll see really us continue to build out this portfolio as we get into next year. Talked about the management options in a second, or a moment ago. The one I just talked about is the embedded. That's the built-in controller. It's free. It's just built right into the web user interface. It's, great option and an easy option for local deployment, and all the APs on the network would depend on that master AP. We also have the most popular management solution is GWN Cloud. This is another AWS-backed platform. There is no limit on the amount of, I think it's like 3 million devices is the limit, but I don't think anybody is coming really close to that right now. So pretty much no limit in terms of the amount of devices you can use, no limit on the amount of different networks that you can create with it. It is fully free. Again, cloud-based platform that it has a mobile app as well, allows you to, the mobile app's great because it allows you to add APs by just scanning the barcode, and it sends the info back to your GWN Cloud account. And there you go, unlimited AP management. That is fully free. You can go to gwn.cloud to sign up and start using it right now. We also, if you prefer GWN Cloud as an on-prem or software, we have GWN Manager. It is literally pretty much everything that GWN Cloud does, except it is on-premise. You download, it's a Windows-based platform for local server deployment. Download it onto a server or PC on your network, and it can run the access points, control the access points on that network. Again, fully free, and there's a 3,000 access point limit on that, but again, that's a lot of access points. Last thing I will leave you with here, I see we're at 32 minutes after the hour, so we should be able to wrap up here within the next 5 minutes. This is the last slide here for the Wi-Fi section. Just also want to mention, because this is some pretty big news actually pretty recently, we have become a member of the Wi-Fi Alliance. I encourage you to go Google that Wi-Fi Alliance. It is an independent organization of manufacturers and service providers around the world, really with the goal of developing Wi-Fi and making it easily attainable and easily accessible, and creating consistent technology across the Wi-Fi manufacturers. So we're very excited to be now a member of that, and every access point that we come out with from here on out, including the GWN 7660, will all be fully certified by the Wi-Fi Alliance, which is another really important thing. I talked about this earlier. Keep an eye on some more Wi-Fi 6 access points. We have 2 more that we're hoping to launch by the end of the year. Possible they'll get pushed into early next year, but there's about 6 to 8 in development that you should be able to see here within the next year or so. All right, so as we wrap up here, just want to introduce you to 2 other new devices. First here, we have our GVC 3220. This is this is the highest end video conferencing device that we've ever come out with. So what do I mean by that? It's got built-in 4K video support, has an 8 megapixel camera, gives you 12 times optical zoom, gives you PTZ, not ePTZ, but full PTZs. And this camera, pretty much, it's almost 360 degrees. It can't go around I've tested this out myself. The camera cannot go around all the way in a circle, but you can go to the left and it'll look pretty much directly behind it, or to the right and it'll look directly behind it. So lots of, in terms of that PTZ, pretty much will cover a whole room. Has built-in dual band Wi-Fi, built-in Bluetooth as well. Runs on Android, which is another interesting thing. All of our video, whether they be video conferencing devices or video phones, will run on Android, so that you can make your conference or collaborate using any of those Android apps. This is a SIP-based device, so it will be fully compatible with any third-party SIP video conferencing platform. If you're looking for a more cost-effective video conferencing endpoint to add to, another third-party SIP video conferencing platform, here you go. I guarantee you, compare the price of this to what Other manufacturers would charge for a device of this size or of this capacity and this capability, and I promise you it'll come in a lower price point. There was something else. Oh, it is also supports H.323, so will also be compatible with any H.323 video conferencing platform. Really, this is ideal for large rooms, for boardrooms. It's going to give you that 4K quality. The 12 times optical zoom, we actually had this set up at a trade show that we were attending remotely a couple of months ago, and we were pretty much able to zoom in on the entire trade show floor from where we were. It was zooming in on things that were probably hundreds of feet away. So really powerful camera there. Again, the PTZ and the 12 times zoom. Yeah, so highest end video conferencing solution we've ever come out with. This you can use as an endpoint on the UCM backed video collaboration bridge that I mentioned earlier. Also, again, our IP video talk platform, in case you're familiar with that. But again, any third-party SIP or H.323 platform this will be compatible with. And along with that, in the box, we include this GMD1208. This is a wireless desktop microphone that will pair through a proprietary, as you see there, Wi-Fi connection with the GVC3220, fully wireless, does have built-in rechargeable battery, easy to operate mute button, as you can see down there. 8 mics around the outside of it. This device is probably a little bit bigger than the size of your fist. It's pretty small, but it's super powerful. You can pair up to 2 of these with every GVC3220 just to allow you to, for example, in a large room, to make sure that if somebody in the back, if a training's being held, or in a boardroom, somebody that might not be sitting at the table, that they can all be heard. One of these GMD1208s comes with, in every box, with the GVC3220. And you can also purchase it separately. Last thing that we got here, appreciate everybody's patience. Last thing that we got here is our GSC3620. We have actually been manufacturing IP video surveillance cameras we started about 10 years ago. We took a hiatus, I think from like 2017, 2018, to allow us to completely remake our surveillance camera portfolio. And that's what you're beginning to see here. So basically more powerful, lower cost with our new line, this GSC series. We came out with another camera earlier in the year, which was a bullet camera. And as you can see, this is a dome camera. That is the main difference there. The other big thing with this guy is it's a variable focal camera, which I'll get to in a minute. Basically means you can adjust the lens to be ideal for viewing anything close to the camera, anything more in the distance, or anything in between. Full HD video, and you get a second stream. So that means that this camera can be, all of our cameras can be you can be monitoring them and seeing their live video. And if a trigger or alarm was triggered or anything like that, it would also then be able to send a second stream or be accessible with the second stream from elsewhere. Infrared for full day coverage, whether it's pitch black or bright. Weatherproof casing, built-in power over Ethernet, the variable focal lens, which I'll get to in a minute. The audio focus is another big thing. It's actually something I forgot to mention on the GVC3220 is that video conferencing device has a built-in autofocus lens, which made it super easy to adjust, and right away it would pick up whatever the new thing you're looking at. Same thing here, autofocus lens, built-in motion detection, lots of different ways that can be set up and enabled. What else did I miss here? So the variable focal lens, again, is really the big thing here. So I'm just going to go to this next slide. In this variable focal lens, the camera, I think, let me go back. Yeah, so this camera can be adjusted to from 2.8 millimeters to 12 millimeters, and that's the lens setting. 2.8 millimeters is going to be ideal for kind of close to the camera, indoor areas, a little bit of a wider view, and 12 millimeters is going to be looking at something more in the distance, a parking lot, a specific spot in an alley, a specific spot in an entrance, for example. So I believe this is now the third GSC camera that we have in our portfolio. actually, I think, another one that we should be launching here within the next couple of months. So we've got now, so this is variable focal, weatherproof. So it's really ideal for outdoor, but can be used anywhere. And we have two other cameras. I believe it's the 3610 and the 3615. Those are indoor cameras. One is a bullet and one is a dome shaped. All right, so that wraps up what I had, had here for today. Apologize for going a couple of minutes over. I feel like I always do, but there's always just so much to cover and so much to really talk about, and I get kind of excited about this stuff sometimes too. So with that wraps up my presentation. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will turn it back over to Julie.
Thank you so much, Phil, for that wonderful presentation. And of course, we always have questions. Let's get started with the first one. Okay, regarding video conferencing, will the number of video feeds and voice affect the number of attendees allowed in a conference?
I guess it would depend on. So there's a couple of different ways to answer the question. One of the things I didn't cover on that device, which I apologize for, it does have a built-in MCU, which would allow it to host meetings. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but that built-in MCU does have a limit in terms of how many voice and how many video attendees it can support. If you're going to be using this device with, for example, that UC&C collaboration suite that I mentioned earlier, then it's going to be more the support for audio and video attendees will be based on the UC&C model you have. If you're going to be using it with a third-party solution, then it's going to be based on whatever that can support. Yeah, hopefully that answers the question. I guess so. From my side, it's the built-in. It does have a limit in what it can support, but you, by using a third-party solution, would then be able to support what that solution offers. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Phil, for that. Next question here for you. For video conferencing on the UC&C 6300 series, is 1080p used for all video feeds?
You can enable that. That is something you have full control to configure. I believe you can also give each user or attendee the ability to also decide their own video resolution. Does support all the way up to 1080p, but does give you the flexibility to be able to require everyone to be at 1080p, to allow everyone to come in at whatever they come in at, or to be able to choose their resolution themselves. So bunch of options there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question here. Again, regarding the UC&C 6300 audio series, will there be any options to add video collaboration as an upgrade to the device?
We have no current plans to do that, no.
Okay. Next question here. How many concurrent calls can the 6300 regular model handle?
I will be honest, I do not remember off the top of my head, but I can look that up here as we're moving on.
Okay.
You can ask the next question as I look this up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Regarding the GRP series, will this work on third-party Bluetooth hands-free devices?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's Bluetooth 5.0, I believe. So it should be fully compatible with pretty much every Bluetooth enabled speaker, microphone, etc.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and ask another question here. Regarding Wi-Fi 6, will your phones and base stations support Wi-Fi 6 as well?
That is a very good question. So the phones will begin to support it. The current ones do not. But pretty much everything that we will be releasing from here on out, and to kind of give you a heads up of something else that's coming soon, hopefully by the end of the year, we have at least one more cordless Wi-Fi phone coming out, and that the main driver of that new one is that it will support Wi-Fi 6. So the new ones that we release from here on out will. The current ones, unfortunately, do not.
Thank you for that, Phil. Next question here for you. If one needs to reach Grandstream for either customer support or technical support, can we go to your website? Can you give us an overview on what is the most efficient way to reach out to you guys?
Yeah, so the best way is to become, if you're not already, to join our Partner Connect program, which is, I believe it's just partnerconnect.grandstream.com. And when you go over there, sign up, we'll ask you a couple of initial questions just so that we can, qualify you and make sure you're set up right in our system. But what you'll get from that is you'll not only get access to, I guess to answer the question, that's the main thing you're looking for is the support. So you'll be able to file technical support tickets or whatnot through as a Partner Connect member, and those come through to us flagged as being, registered partners, and we usually try to guarantee response time for those Partner Connect members within the same day. In addition to that, you're going to get access to a whole bunch of marketing and sales tools that we put up there, product images, sales kits, a whole bunch of other content that we're utilizing that you could, can help with your users or resellers or whatnot. But yeah, that's the best way to get in touch. Best way to do it is to go to partnerconnect.grandstream.com, sign up, and then once you get in, submit your tickets through that, and they come, as I mentioned, they come through to us flagged, and we guarantee a quick response time.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Would that be the same place to go if anyone wanted some more technical information on any one of your products, if they wanted to see your data sheets or things like that?
So for that, I would say our website is the best location. So we have a resource section of our website, which if you go to our website and under support, there'll be a resources tab. That will take you to a field where you can type in whatever your product, and it will show you all of the technical resources, data sheets, user manuals, quick installation guides, interoperability guides, how-to manuals, etc., that we have for that product. You can also find all of that same stuff by going to any of our product pages, and right next to the image at the top, there'll be a resource tab, and it'll take you to the same section. So the resource section of our website will have all of that, and that's definitely the best way to get it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Phil, for answering all of those questions for us today. And also thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, of course, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please visit us as well at www.microcom.us. And please remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. Phil, excellent webinar. Thank you so much for all of your valuable information, and thank you for everyone for your time today. Everyone have a great day.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye now.